Hey Realm Walkers, welcome back. We're here for another episode of our Nightingale 101 series. Today I'm going to have 10 more rapid fire tips for you guys to kind of help break down that learning curve if you're just jumping in. Alright, so we're here at Test Castle again. If you were here for the last episode, you know we've done a few upgrades. But we're going to head inside really quick and jump right in. Alright, tip number 1. Make sure you are manually selecting what resources to add whenever you're crafting anything, or building anything, I should say. So if you notice, this here simple wooden table that I have set up for us will take 2 lumber. But if I open my inventory, we have 2 different types of lumber here. We have our basic wood lumber you're going to get from any tree, and then I also have a little bit more rare yew lumber that you only get from fighting specific mobs in the game. Spoiler alert, but if you're looking for yew lumber, you get it from the big hammer guys of the bound. So if you fight them, they drop the yew lumber. Alright, so the tip though is hold E, and instead of just tapping E and throwing whatever lumber you have in there, you can come over here and hit add resource from inventory, and then manually select the less valuable wood, and there you have your table. And that is tip number 1. Make sure that whenever you are building something, you hold E to manually select the items you want to use to build it, especially if you have multiple tiers of any given resource within your inventory. Tip number 2, split your base into multiple buildings if you want to create a larger build, right? So I already have my build menu up so I can kind of show you guys, but visually, if you look right here, it's not the best mashup job, but you can see there's a clear delineation between my main building here and where I meshed it in with our personal beach area down here. But to show you what I mean, if you look here, this little area down here, these roof pieces, all of this near the water with the flowers and everything, this is 96 build pieces out of 300. But if we go directly next door here to my actual main house, it's 270 out of 300. And that's just this central building here, right? So this part and this part are separate, and then I have another separate structure for my entryway and portal house, and this one here is 68 pieces. So all in all, we exceeded the 300 limit, but we were able to do that because we just very quickly separated our 3 buildings to create a larger overall structure. Alright, we are back here in our crafting room for tip number 3, augmentations. So augmentations are interesting. If you notice here on our workbench, we have a crude tea set, we have a macabre rack, we have a simple drinking horn, and we have a simple map. But say I wanted to craft this nice ornate lantern in my hand, right? So if I open the building menu for this bench, or crafting menu rather, and I scroll through the items here, what I'm looking for is the decor recipes. And this is where basically if an augment grants you a recipe, it's going to be down here in this very bottom section. Now I know this bench should let me create this ornate lantern because I have the blueprint unlocked, but it's not showing up down here under tools. And that's because it requires certain augmentations. And what it requires in this instance is this gramophone right here. So basically I put it in here in my little lounge area because I think it's a nice decoration. But functionally, I need it to be interacting with that bench over there. So instead of creating a whole new one and wasting resources, what I'll do is I'll hit X to open the build menu, and then I'll just drag it over here and find a nice spot where it fits and plop it down here so that I know it's interacting with this bench. And now, whenever I open it up, if I go back down here to decor items, we see that I now am able to craft the ornate lantern. So this tip here, just to summarize, is just because a station requires an augment doesn't mean you need to put it right on top of it. You can still use it to decorate your base and then just move it around whenever you need to. Alright, so let's head on to the next one. Tip number 4, use forest provisioner realms to quickly harvest sandstone. If you're looking to build one of the later game tile sets that require a lot of stone, this will be really helpful. And also use it, oh, we got Moose Boy. Alright, we scooted up a bit to let him pass on by, but you can also use it to quickly harvest a good amount of blueberries. At the same time, you're grabbing a whole bunch of sandstone, whenever you're trying to craft later game food, specifically nectars. The roads are important here because all these resources sit alongside them, so all you have to do is follow the road and you're going to grab a ton of what you need. All right, so I'm going to kind of show you guys as an example. So we've got the sandstone here. We got the blueberries, and I'm just going to run for a good little bit here to show you guys. Got tons more blueberries. We got the sandstones. Anytime, of course, if you've been farming sandstone and any of the other biome types, or I guess realm types, then you know they're along mountains. But the added benefit here is they'll also be right at the road whenever you're following the roads here. Let's grab some sandstone, some more blueberries. But you guys, you kind of get the idea here, right? It's a very easy way to come and farm these things without having to go run, all over a map just to track down the blueberries or find those mountain ridges with the sandstone on them. You can just run through here, quickly grab what you need, and then pop back to your respite realm with enough food and sandstone to do what you need to do. Tip number 5, long rest versus short rest. So if you're the type of person that likes the general nighttime aesthetic while you're crafting and gathering, etc., and you don't want to use a special miner card for it, you can actually short rest through the night and fill up that blue bar down there without making it morning. So to do that, I'm going to show you guys really quick. Whenever you are near your bed, just hold the E key instead of tapping it, and then you have multiple options. You can either inspect the bed, long rest, which is the default tap E, or click short rest over here. And if you notice down there, that refilled our blue sleep bar. All right, now for the flip side of that, I'm going to show you guys a benefit of the long rest whenever you're generally refining and doing things around base. Tip number 6, utilizing long rest to speed up your refining efforts. So to show you guys this one really quick, I'm going to open up this crafting menu here with our smelter, and we're just going to make some ingots, right? So let's see, I have 70 gold ore. I'm just going to churn out, say, 20 of these. As it spins up here, I'm just going to let you guys see the overall progress radial menu. Is slowly ticking away to get us those 20 ingots. All right, so we're just going to tap the bed this time with the E key to initiate a rest until morning. All right, and as you can see, we have 20 gold ingots ready for us first thing in the morning. So if you are doing a lot of work, whether it be crafting ingots or you're refining a lot of stone, like I did here to upgrade Test Castle, make sure you're utilizing your long rests at night to really speed up the overall production. Tip number 7, utilizing blue essence to help cover repair costs. So for this one, we're going to hop into the menu really quick and then come to the third tab of our inventory on essences and show you guys where we're at. So we have our basic essence dust. This is what you will always use for repairs. But as you can see, if I hover over repair, it can take quite a bit if you have some higher level gear. Let me pop out of here real quick, exit. If I were to hit, for instance, repair all, that's going to cost me almost 3,500 essence dust, the gray tier, to repair all my armor and all my tools. But one thing that really helps with that is you can break down the higher essence tiers into essence dust. So if I were to right click and extract from my green tier, it will give you this slider. The tip is to make sure you're utilizing this slider. So for instance, 1 green essence dust will give us 25 basic gray essence. But if we hop up to the blue and dial this all the way down, this will give us 250 per 1 unit of tier 2 essence. And then the purple, personally, I would not recommend using this to break down unless you're just farming tons of it, because it costs a lot for late game stuff. But 1 purple will give you 2,500 gray essence dust. So my advice and tip number 7 is utilize blue essence dust to convert down to basic dust in order to cover repair costs. And tip number 8 goes right alongside of this. Whenever you're going to repair your items, make sure that you wait until they are red Granted, we didn't do that, but that was because it was for a tip video. But wait until they are red or almost broken, because as it currently stands in early access, you don't get any benefit that I can tell from repairing them, you know, when they're halfway versus 3/4 of the way, you know, durability wise. So just go ahead and wait till they're almost broken and then repair them then. Okay, so really quick, hopping back in here before we go into tip number 9. And what I wanted to show you guys just to help out, because I mentioned that the blue essence is what I use to break down for repair costs. When you start to get to tier 2 essence is the herbarium realm. So once you unlock the herbarium realm, you will start to get that tier 2 essence from all your puzzles, Fey Towers, etc. And what qualifies for tier 2 is herbarium, gloom, and hunt cards. So you're looking at 50 item level, 60 and 70. So from 50 to 70, that's whenever you're farming that tier 2 stuff essence wise, and that's when you're going to start, you know, raking it in or heading back to those realms to kind of farm it up a little bit to cover your costs as you're, you know, going through delves and dungeons and stuff like that. All right, so heading from there straight into tip number 9 is make sure you are utilizing your minor cards whenever you get the ability to craft them, or whenever you loot them in chest, because they offer you benefits that cover the whole spectrum of survival, whether it be the types of tools you make, or your resistances to items, or your chance of things dropping, etc., etc. Make sure you use them. Just to show you a couple of examples, right? So the amphibious card, which you get pretty early on in the antiquarian realm as a reward from a quest. This one right here will raise your resistance to disease, which is very important in a swamp biome, increases your swimming speed if you're trying to hunt any coral for healing potions or anything like that, and the ability to recover stamina while in the water. So those are very important if you're doing any of those things. Tip number 10 is how to quickly traverse the realms. So we have 2 ways of doing this, and you know that I use in practice. The first is the Thin Veiled card, and basically what this does is it lowers the overall durability of your tools, but it increases your move speed, it increases your stamina efficiency, and it increases your jump, right? So it's basically a watered down version of the soaring effect you get from Bastilles. Let me go ahead and apply that for us really quick. How to quickly utilize travel skills. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to hop in the air and show you guys in first person, and then we're going to take it out to third person to show you what it looks like. So what you do, with Thin Veil we have a bit of a jump, right? But you can jump, use your dodge as long as you're holding a single-handed weapon, use your umbrella, and basically what you do is you interchange your umbrella, glide, and your dodge to kind of give yourself an extra bit of maneuverability. And if you get the timing right, you can traverse good distances really quickly. All right, so let's try that again. I'm gonna get up here just to get a little bit of height for the whole effect. We're just ignoring all these guys spawning around us. All right, so we're gonna jump, dodge, glide, dodge, glide, dodge, and you get the gist of it, right? So this will help you really get around, especially if you're using the bonuses we went over in tip number 9. When it comes to getting the max effect out of those cards. All right, so I'm going to head back to Test Castle, and we will close this out, guys. And with that, guys, I hope these tips were helpful. If they were, make sure you hit that like button. It'll help me out a lot. And if there is anything you would like us to go more in-depth on, or if there's anything we didn't cover, make sure you let me know down in the comments, and I'll see about getting another video out for us. Until then, happy realm diving, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Sage out.